What's up, y'all? This is Ty. I am here to review Season 3, Episode 2 of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. And tonight's episode is titled Flip Mode. But before I do that, I have to give a shout out to my lovely subscribers who have been holding me down in the comment section. I'm talking about folks like Beautifully T, Tayon's World, Savannah Rivers, Amore Dupree, Kryptonian Black, The R.C. Kroger, Bobby J, and Quentin Baptiste. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And let's keep those comments coming. Let's keep it coming. Leave a comment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the share button, tell your friends about the channel. Because what? We want to keep the channel going and growing. That's right. Hit that subscribe button. Just like that. That's all you got to do. Now, with that being said, let's get right down to this episode. We pick up. It looks like, they're showing us they kind of time jumped a little bit. It's been a few weeks, it looks like, that Rock and Unique, because looks like another day now, that Rock and Unique are getting it on and like seeing each other. And he mentions to her, he says, how come, all of this, what we doing and going on, they eating ice cream and being romantic. And he says, how come you don't never let me like chill and stay here? She says, bro. She's like, this place is for me and my son. You're not gonna get that close to me. And the thing is, her son ain't rocking with her. Kanan ain't rocking with her right now. And they're having this playful banter. And I'm like saying to myself, what's gonna go with, how far is this relationship gonna go? And how long is this going to last? And how do y'all feel about this relationship? I'm not too sure how I feel about this relationship right now. And you know what? I'm wondering when Unique's brother, Ronnie, finds out who he's right now. He's real mysterious. What is he going to feel about this, too? Because it's very interesting. So now, as they're doing all this, carrying on and having this quality time with each other, so if you want to, whatever, that's what you want to call it, you see shadows, and Rock saw the shadow like, what was that? And before they could get to their guns, they get ambushed by Stefani's people, and then they put the bags over their head, and then they take them over to him, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And of course, Stefani, played by Tony Danza, my boy. I love Tony Danza. This is the first time I've seen him play like a bad guy. I remember him from Who's the Boss? But anyway, we see him, and he's making his little comments, and him and Unique are not hitting it off. And it was hilarious how he just kept changing Unique's name. That's your mother named you that? What's your name? What? And he's like, so they were having these little different banter. I like that whole thing about the nickname banter and all of that, what type of nickname they have, and how Unique was like throwing insults right back and throwing jabs right back at him. So that got off to a rocky start. So now here's why they were brought there. Stefani wants Rock to kill off Baselli. He's like, listen, we need you to we have this whole code of honor within a boss can't kill another boss. And you're like, they all grimy. They're so-called codes, but, if I have you do it, then my hands are clean on this. We can't be involved. We want them dead, but we don't want another boss. Isn't it still the same thing, though? You might not have done it, but you made the hit. So you're not really following this moral code, so to speak. But anyway, Rock tells him, like she's been telling everybody, listen, I'm out of the business. I'm done. And he says, no, you're not. No. He said, because if that doesn't happen, then all the families, the 5 families, would come down on you and we'll kill you and your boy Unique over there. I forgot what name he called him. And that it was funny. And so he said, I'll kill them. I'll kill you and him and all the rest of your people. So she said, okay, fine. Because she has no choice. I have to do this. I have to do this hit and handle this. So that's what she has to do. So meanwhile, as that's going on, we see, let's go down to, oh my goodness, Detective Howard at Burke's funeral. When I tell you people ain't worth a they ain't worth it. This man is up at this woman's funeral giving this lovely speech about her and her career, knowing he's the one who is responsible for her going to see the king. He's the one who killed her, and now you up there giving this speech, and I'm like, this is low. This is low, but it goes to show you can't trust. Shows like this me making me say, damn, you can't trust nobody. He's up there giving this. It was a nice speech what he said about him, what a great cop she was, and maybe if she knew how good she was, she would be here today. No, maybe if you didn't kill her, she would be here today. Or maybe you should have said, maybe she would have kept her mouth shut and not tried to confront me about my own business, she would be here today. But of course he can't say that up there. But we see that happening, and we see Adina, I believe her name is Adina, Detective Burke's lover, trying to approach Detective Burke's father, and he's like, I don't want to have whatever that mess, this is still the 90s. He's not very accepting of that relationship. And he's like, whatever this mess y'all had going, I know who you are, whatever mess y'all had going, that's probably why my daughter did what she did, because he thinks his daughter committed suicide. And then even when Adina tries to speak to the other police officer, he doesn't, leave it alone, he don't want to hear. And so I'm like, Burke is looking at her too, and I'm like, she better calm down, because she don't want to end up like, Adina doesn't want to end up like, not Burke, Howard was looking at her. And she don't want to end up like Detective Burke, because Howard was looking at her like, why are you talking to her daddy for? What's that about? And now she going to the boss and doing that same thing. She better be careful. That's what I'm saying. So Detective Burke girlfriend, I think you need to be careful. You might need to fall back a little bit, because you might end up in the line of fire. We also see in this episode Rock trying to win Kanan over. She buys him a new car. That would have won me over back in the day if my mother would have did that for me. That would have won me over. But they get in the car, they test drive it, whatever, and he mentions, that detective is dead, and she says, yeah, she killed herself. He said, you believe she killed herself? That's what he said though, because he mentioned it to her about the detective killing herself. You believe that? And then they go on to say all that stuff about. She said, yeah, that's what they do, and he said, yeah, just like Homeboy did, and she's like, yeah. Now y'all remember last week, Lulu told him the truth. So now he's disgusted again, because here is Rock lying again. And because she don't know. And that's all Kanan wants from her, is to be honest. He's upset. So he's not rocking well, but we do see him decide to do a little side deal with the neighbor, him and Famous's neighbor, who has a courier business. And he's like, listen, I want you to work for me, and let's do this courier business. And then in this business, what we'll do is it'll be like moving weed or whatever. So we're going to get more of that. We'll see, I guess, in next week's episode. Now, what else is going on? Let's talk about Unique, who we see him later in this episode going to Stefani, going into the store, the pet store, where it's all the fish stuff, which I love. I'm a big fan of fish and tanks and all that. And he wants to make a deal, and now it's like him and Stefano. He's kind of winning Stefano over, and he's like, listen. He said, I know we got off to a rocky start. He said, you want to move some heroin with us, but I got other people. But he said, you know what? I kind of like you, Unique. Maybe we could work something out. He said, but where's Rock? He says, Rock says she's out. And he's like, I don't believe that. And neither does Unique. But right now, this is what Rock is saying. This is what Rock feels. But we know you're never really out. She's not going to be out. She's not going to get out. She's definitely not going to get out. So they're trying to eventually have a deal. But now let's stick on Unique and talk about this family situation. His brother, Ronnie, right now, all we know about him is he just seemed to be very uptight. He's at the house being weird. Unique's girlfriend is not feeling him. And then she tells him, look, your son ain't even feeling him. He's just so rigid. I'm like, what's going on with him? He goes to the club. He gets very upset when he sees that bouncer wasn't letting him in because he wasn't dressed right. But then Unique let him in. He's sitting down there. He's sitting stiff. The beautiful ladies trying to touch on him. Get off of me. He's a little uptight. He is very uptight. And I'm like, they're slowly introducing him to us, and we're getting more. But he's still a mystery to us. But he's going to be some trouble. He's definitely going to be some trouble and some problems. And I wonder what's going to happen if he finds out that Rock and Unique have a relationship if he finds out. Y'all think he's going to find that out? But I thought that was really interesting. Really interesting. Also, we have going on, we see Jukebox, Laverne. She went, you saw her earlier, we saw her, Burke's death affected her. We seen her standing outside of the funeral. But then we see that she walks in on her dad, Marvin, and Nicole's dad having a conversation. And she's like, oh, what brings him here? And he tells her about a opportunity to join a girls group with her talent, this, that, and the third. And he really seems to like Laverne. And Laverne says she ain't singing no more, which we know, when you a singer, it's always in your heart. But she's a little discouraged right now. Her mom died and things are not going the way she wanted. So she's a little discouraged right now. But we saw her, she wants to get out of Queens. We've seen her trying to enroll in the army. She wants to move that fast along. She's like, I want to do this now. And the guy told her there's some steps to this. And she's like, listen, sign me up. I want to get out of here now. But now, then we saw her also go to Lulu. And he apologized to her about how he did her with, how she feels like, you stole my song, gave it to your little girlfriend. And he apologized. He said, first, let me apologize to you about the death of your mom, which was nice. And now she's considering doing that contest. Because, like I said, when you're a singer, it's in your heart, it's in your blood, you want to sing. She's considering doing that contest, and Lulu's going to help her do that contest. But Lulu wants no parts of Rock right now. He's still disgusted. He don't have his business. He lost his girl. He's pissed off with Rock. He's been drinking his life away. We've seen him in the club with Marvin drinking and being salty when the guy knocked over. He actually knocked the tray over, but he got mad with the waiter. That was interesting. And so Lulu seemed to be bonding with her, but he don't want nothing to do with Rock. So that's interesting. But Marvin has a job to do. And it was funny because when Marvin went over to Lulu's house to try to help do this hit that they got to do on Bocelli, he was like, this for Rock? I ain't doing it. But, somebody need to get Lulu some water and some counseling and a cup of tea because he needs some water. He drinking too much alcohol. The house look a mess. It's just crazy. But he's going to eventually come around. He's definitely going to come around eventually. But right now, he's not feeling her. He's not feeling all of this. And that's how that's going. Now, let's get to Bocelli and how the feds came to him and warned him, sir, you're in danger and we could help you because our intel says that they want you dead. Your people want you dead. And he's like, what are you talking about? I own a bowling alley. Get out of here and all this other stuff. Then we go to the scene where we see Marvin in a disguise as a mailman, and he's going to take him out at his grandson's christening. At Bocelli's grandson's christening. And I was like, okay, that scene was pretty good, but I was like, how's he going to pull this off? He got his people right up in front. And I'm like, they're that laid back because he was a little too close. He got too close to them. But I mean, he was disguised as a mailman, but still, he got too close to them. And when he shot him and ran into the church, I was like, nah, good scene. But I was like, in real life, they would have caught up with him. He would have been dead. But Marvin got away with killing Bocelli. So I was like, okay, but that was quite the scene. That was quite the scene. And that was definitely, that was that. But overall, I thought this episode was really good. They got the job done. Oh, and then before I go, Rock went over to Julia and her cousin and told them she was out of the business. So Rock is really saying she's out of the business. And Juliana was saying all this stuff in Spanish and like, oh, she's a liar and we can't trust her, this and the third. But little did she know that Rock speaks Spanish. Now, it's funny how Juliana's cousin is like not as upset as Juliana is. And he's like, listen, you need to just make sure she don't come after you. Just leave it alone. The lady says she wants you out, let her be out. But do y'all think Rock is really out? No. I think right now she's just saying that, but something is definitely going to pull her back, and she can't stay out. She can't stay out. So overall, I thought this was a really good episode. We're getting things going. We're going to learn more about Unique's brother. I can see that coming. More is going to come from that. Detective Howard, I think, is going to become more and more unhinged. I think more is going to come with that too. It's just real crazy. But I just couldn't get over him at the funeral. That was crazy in the speech he gave. But yeah, really good episode. That's all I have for now. Tell me your thoughts. Did you enjoy this episode? What did you like mostly about it? What didn't you like about it? Just tell me your thoughts down below. And again, like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my other videos. And I will see you all in the next video.